And then we're started. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today, we have Barbara Lyons Croker here to tell us about her Dercum story and also how she started one of the first foundations for Dercums and the Dercum's color and, of course, Dercum's day. Barbara, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
It is lovely to meet you finally.
Yeah, I know, huh? A long time. So
It's been years, yeah.
I know, but the thing is, you're on Facebook and stuff. Nobody can connect the faces and stuff, but it's nice to meet you.
I know we kind of seem separated with Facebook. I like these projects because it does bring us together a little
Right.
bit more, So I've been meeting people and actually hearing their stories, and then other people actually get to hear their stories. So I think it kind of reminds people who we are, helps people connect. I hope it's a good thing.
Absolutely. You're doing a brilliant thing. I'm not good at technical stuff.
Neither am I. I'm actually really terrible at it, but I'm doing
Well,
my best. I'm
well,
doing
that's
my
all we
best.
can do, right?
So, all right, let's start with the questions, and these ones should be pretty easy for you. When is the first time you can remember chronic pain starting for you?
1996, April of 1996. When I got out of bed in the morning, I could not put my foot down on the ground at all until I worked. The more you move, the more it came down. And of course, nurses are the worst patients. I was working the ER and would never get it checked. And so I kept going like that until probably September. That's how bad. And one day I said to the ER doctor, I said, just do an x-ray. Let's see what's going on with this foot, because I didn't want to really know. But anyway, she thought it was a bone cyst. So I ended up going to orthopedic in, let's say, October, beginning of October. And they wanted to do some testing. So they did a bone scan and found out that my foot was fractured, my heel
Wow.
bone. So I said, well, I've come this far since April to October. I'm going home to Ireland for my cousin's wedding. I'll be back.
It
And then
just
you can
shows
put
how
me in a
tough we
cast.
are, is that it's been broken since then, probably, and you've just
Yeah,
been walking around and you're still getting your stuff done because,
that's what we have to do, right?
yeah.
So I flew home to Ireland with my mom and dad, excuse me, and danced around. And the next morning after the wedding, could not put a shoe on.
Oh,
So I was just like, okay. So I came back and they did a bone scan and no, sorry, MRI, and they found out that I had a questionable bone cyst, but he thought it would question sarcoma. So they sent me to Mass General to Dr. Mencken. And he thought it was a bone cyst. He was like, okay, Barbara, it's going to be fine. We're going to operate. You'll be fine in a few weeks. I said, all right. So when he went in, they replaced the heel bone with the cadaver bone and said, it ate the bone. So we're going to send it for biopsies, whatever. It came back as positive for ossifying lipomas, which an ossifying lipoma will suck the nutrients out of your bone. So it demolished the bone. So I was in a cast for a long time. And then in May 1997, it grew back and ate the bone away again.
wow.
So I had to have that done. And then I had my Achilles was contracted up from walking on my toes, and he had to replace the Achilles tendon. So I was on crutches a total of 3 years,
Oh,
like under
crutches
the
are the
crutches.
worst. I hate
I
those
can't
things so
use
much.
I know, and I can't use them anymore. Now I have a knee scooter, which is wonderful. I take all the money. I have more hospital equipment in my house. But anyway, it took 3 years for them to finally figure out in 1999 that I had Dercum's. And him and Dr. Camden up in Mass General had been researching it because it kept traveling. It was in my knees, it was in my thighs. I had one in my thigh that he thought was just the size of a golf ball. And I ended up sitting on it, and he said it was like a baby. It was so big, it was huge. It came out the back of my leg. So I named him Henry after the doctor. He was just like, oh God, Barbara. But it just kept traveling. And when you're diagnosed with something like that, I used to go to Mass General, which is about an hour away from the house. I sit in the garage and just cry because you're like, oh my God, like, what is this? I feel like a leopard. Like, And God rest my mom. She used to come and sit with me and stuff, but it was just, it's a lot to take in when you're first diagnosed.
It's isolating, and it all feels like you're grieving, and
Absolutely.
it's a lot.
Because I had two small kids, my
Yeah,
kids were really young when I was diagnosed. And which it does change your life because you can't do things we used to do, go skating, skiing and all that stuff. But, the kids regretted it. One of my son used to get very angry and stuff, but you have to live and try to figure out how to deal with being, having this.
yeah,
And I've had a lot of surgeries over the years. I just, when they come, I have to have them removed because I'm afraid they will eat my bone. What else can they do to them? So,
right.
yeah. So, yeah, that's my diagnosis. And then went to England. Nobody was researching it. I also tried to help pass through the Rare Disease Act. I went to all the senators and asked them if Dercums could be part of the Rare Disease Act in Washington. And they were like, there's not enough of you, and there's not enough research. And people are not going to want to research because there's not enough patients. And it's just a vicious circle. Nobody would help us back then.
Yeah, and even still, I run into the kind of cycle of people saying, "Oh, well, it's so rare,"
Yeah,
that, like my insurance, when they won't cover surgery for me, will cite how rare it is and that they don't know if this is necessarily going to help. Now, individual removals, they will cover. Liposuction for large areas, they will not, because they cite that it's so rare.
right. Exactly.
But I like to get it all if I can.
Well, absolutely. Like I said, I've had good medical coverage because I had double coverage with my husband, and then my disability. But I had liposuction done probably 11 years ago, I think, in Arizona. Um, that was different.
It is a hard recovery for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. They went up the side of
Mhm.
my leg and up and across, and it was just like, oh, but yeah. But they, like I said, they can grow from pea size to 25 pounds.
Oh yeah.
And my suggestion is definitely if you're going to have them done and surgically removed, go have anesthesia because they tried
Oh
to take one out of my arm thinking it was small. It ended up like from my shoulder down, and they gave me 8 lidocaine injections with epi. I had to stop them. I'm like, okay, you're done. They were trying
yeah.
to get this big. It was about that big. It was the size of a softball out of my arm. So they had to finish it in the OR. They couldn't. So definitely
Yeah.
the bigger ones, especially.
Well, I did local lipo because that's what Dr. Shapira does. So that's what I tried first. It wore off, the lidocaine wore off so quick, and I just had to grit out because you want them to finish, right? You want to
Right.
be done. You don't want to get in there and do half of this thing, right? So I just gutted it out, even though I could feel everything and
I
they kept
know.
trying to move me up.
Oh, I
Never
know.
again.
Never again.
Never
I did
again.
the same thing. I walked out of the office. My whole body was shaking. I was just like, I can't do this. This is like from now on. Even Dr. Vicaria, my surgeon, who knows Dercums, he takes the tumors for me. He was just like, don't ever let them do that to you again. That is awful,
Um,
traumatic. It's
Yeah,
like,
my last one, I did the conscious sedation. I don't even remember the rest of that day, and I love that. I love it. I would rather be that way than, having it burned into my mind what happened to me.
exactly. I agree with you because that happened to me too. And it's awful. You don't want to go through that. No,
No, I wish that on no one, really, no one.
really, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so really, how do you feel that your life has changed since getting a diagnosis?
Well, it's changed a lot because I worked for a while and the brain fog and stuff. And as an ER nurse, my hands are clawing and I lost my hearing. And then, so you really use your stethoscope. You can't really give an injection with a claw hand.
Well, and your mind has to be on top of it because you're at the top of your field, people's lives, like
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. So I ended up, Dr. Mencken ended up putting me on, no, actually ended up going into medical coding after that. And I did that for years, but with the brain fog and stuff, I couldn't do it anymore. So it changed. Like then I had the kids, taking the kids to school. Then my daughter started driving. So then I just felt like useless. Like, what do you do? Like, and then with the brain fog, you forget to pick the kids up at school. My husband came out when I got such going to get the kids. I'm like, oh no. And they were up in Providence, like you're going, oh, but like it seems like that's been better. But now I have the grandkids. I help take care of the grandkids and stuff. But not working, I used to work 2 to 3 jobs. I used to love to work nursing and stuff, but it was devastating to me. Like,
Yeah.
you took everything, the disease took things away from me that, it was crazy. Like, how do you feel, not working anymore? And you feel useless in a way, like, I have a full house, I have my kids and my husband, and he's working hard. And here I am just sitting here. It changes your life big time. Not being able to go skiing with the kids, that, and like doing like, sleighs, the snow and stuff, and or just walking a lot. I can't walk a lot anymore, like especially with all the foot surgery I've had. But so then I ended up buying a scooter because I had another Achilles replacement October 2nd, and all the ligaments and tendons around my ankle were completely gone. So I figured, oh, I'll buy a scooter instead of, like, not a knee scooter, something I could just sit and ride around on.
Yeah.
It was a 2-wheeler instead of 3-wheeler.
Oh, no.
So I have a pink scooter in my garage that's just sitting there because I can't ride. My friends are like, Barbara, you're not going to be able to ride that. You're going to have one leg. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. So I went back on my knee scooter. So uh, it's a tough disease. Very, very tough, and that's why my cousins and started the support group. Chris, who did the logos and stuff, he made that group for me, Dercum Research. So he put that whole thing together. Fair play to him.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
they're very good, all the family. But yeah,
Okay, what would you like doctors to know if they're watching this?
what do I want to know? That some people, it's not a weight problem. It is definitely a disease that is very painful. The tumors have grown through the muscles and nerves on me. I'm different. It demolished the heel bones. Listen to your patients. Like, if they tell you something's wrong, something's definitely wrong. Like, I have a dermatologist, Dr. Kayawoka. He's at Rhode Island Hospital. And he tells his residents as soon as they come in and look at me, now, if she tells you something's wrong, you need to listen to her. Something's
Oh,
definitely
that's
wrong.
wonderful.
I can tell him exactly if I have a squamous cell or basal. I have melanoma on my back. And I said, I have a horn growing. So this is squamous cell carcinoma. And he's just looking at me like, and even the Dercums, like I went into him last week, I saw him. And I said, okay, look at this one. Now the tumor is in my left thigh and also affecting my knee. So I just had an MRI of that, and the knee is not good. And obviously, I had one taken out of my left upper hip, like, and I have a seroma the size of a cell phone. They said
Oh,
in my,
my.
so the fluid buildup for the seroma. But definitely, like, if you're operating on a patient, definitely keep them in compression. Like Dr. Herbs always wants
Oh,
me
yeah.
wrapped up because the fluid buildup will affect that.
Well,
But
nature doesn't like a vacuum, right? It's always going to try to fill that space again.
absolutely, absolutely. And the weather has an effect on it. Like I said to Dr. Herbs the other day, I said, when it's spring and the flowers are blooming, Barbara's blooming. Like the tumors just go crazy. I'm like a big flower blooming right now. And then in the winter, it's crippling. My hands are crippled. I'm like paralyzed in the wintertime from the cold and like my joints and stuff. It's like rheumatoid. It's almost like arthritis. But it's a tough disease, and listen to your patients, because by telling somebody, which I've had doctors tell me, you're overweight, you just need to lose weight, you're fine. No, that's not the answer. Obviously, fat is not painful. If you're overweight, you don't have painful fat like we do. I have the lipedema, I have lymphedema. Like, I was blessed. I got hit with it all. I said, say to Dr. Karen. It's like,
Sometimes God gives with both hands.
I know, as my mother says, he only does things to people who can handle it. And I'm like, well, let me tell you,
And
how much handling do you think I can do?
how much faith does he have in me?
Absolutely, right? I'm like going, oh, good. Never ends.
So what would you like other Dercum's patients to know?
It's tough. It is a tough disease, and family support is wonderful, and friends. And you listen to your body. Your body knows when something's wrong. Listen to your body, because when I'm in pain, listen to it. Go lie down, rest. You know, it's a tough disease, and like I tell everybody, Dercum's may be rare, but together we are all strong. Dercum strong. We stick together. So we have like a friend made a logo with that saying on it. We may be rare, but we're Dercum strong. Stick together and be
Yeah.
nice to each other and be nice to your doctors.
Yeah.
It is a difficult disease, and we do get angry, but you can't take it out on somebody who's trying to help you. Like Dr. Herbs is wonderful. I went to Dr. Herbs. I went to Dr. Tomlinson in England. He's not practicing anymore. But even my Dr. Mencken, like, you would get mad. Yes, you're frustrated, you're angry, but you can't take it out on other people either. It's not their fault that we have this. Excuse me, my voice keeps going in and out. I'm hoarse.
All right. Have you been medically gaslit or dismissed by doctors? I mean, we all have, but it helps to see that we're not alone, that these things happen to all of us.
Well, some doctors can be very rude to you. Like, I mean, I had one doctor that asked about because of the tumor in my upper leg, and he walked in. Now, it was previous from when I went to Boston before, and he was just like, "No, I'm not touching you." I'm like, "Okay, but you don't even know what's going on." "No, I'm not touching you." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll find somebody who will help me." Like it, you get aggravated. And like I walked out of there, I said, this was just a waste of day, because I went up to Mass General and like going, this is just ridiculous. You
Yeah.
don't even know before the MRI comes back or anything came back, you don't know what is going on inside my leg. And I probably need a knee replacement now because the tumor is on top of it and stuff. But instead of just saying, just wait and see, let's get the test and do this. And so now I'm not going back up there. Well, I'm
Yeah,
not going to
I
him.
wouldn't either.
Like it's like you're judging me whether he saw something years and years ago as a resident when I had one of my surgeries. I don't know, but ever since Dr. Mencken has been gone, he's just been not nice to me, and I'm like, okay, like I'm out of here, and that's why I left Mass General years ago. So and now I'm back there for my foot and the hands for the dystonia. It was doing good for a while, but now it's just getting worse. I don't know. Maybe because I hit 60. It doesn't age. But yeah, it is aggravating.
It can be. It really can be. And then a lot of us get kind of, I don't know, I think a lot of us get pushed around because we don't know how we're supposed to be treated.
Exactly.
Because you immediately, you took the strong point of fine, somebody else will help me. But for the rest of us who are kind of trying to work along through the system, I think that we are open to a little bit more abuse because we'll take it because we don't know any better.
But to say that's me, I won't take it anymore. I took it long
Well,
enough. And
I'm
I stand
working
out
up
to
to
them.
it.
Yeah, and once you get to that point, you're like, okay, listen, like when I was first diagnosed, Dr. Mencken, God rest him, I used to walk into his office and try to help him. All right, look at this is what's happening now. What do you think is going on? Like my hands are locking, and he would just be sitting there looking at me like, and I was adamant, we're going to find out what's going on, what this disease is. At first, they thought I had maybe King George's disease. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? King George's tour and porphyria or whatever that was. And they put me through a lot of testing and stuff, but I kept on him. and just like I keep on all the doctors here, like, okay, this is Dercum's, or it may be Dercum's, may be not, but you need to see, check it, do an MRI, see what's going on. So that's what I said to this other doctor the other day. I said, at least do an MRI on it. I mean, it's twice the size of my other leg right now. And I'm in my lymphatic machine every day, twice a day sometimes, so I don't know. They just don't listen sometimes.
I think that this is really important for other people to see the kind of self-advocacy that you've been displaying this whole time, you know?
Right.
I
Well, if
mean,
you
even
don't
for
fight for
me,
yourself, nobody else is going to fight for you. Like,
that's true.
and like, don't get me wrong, there's days I break down and I flip out, but like, it has to
Yeah.
get to a certain point. Like, I can take a lot, but, and I
Mhm.
think that helps a lot of us also, like, especially me. I'm a nurse. I was a nurse. We have the medical background. We know when something's wrong in your body, where other people don't. Like, I don't know. It's strange, but we know how to deal with doctors as well because of our medical background.
Right. Like I had to schedule doctors and work in surgery with them and. But
Exactly.
even I have been kind of like I had one doctor just walk in and say, "I don't have time for this." Well, I was naked and leave. He didn't even come near me.
That's annoying. I've had that happen too. I'm
What
like,
do you
no,
even do with that?
I know. And it's degrading. You feel like
Yeah.
you're just, you know what I'm saying? You feel
Yeah.
ugly. You feel like degraded. Like, look at my body. I used to be like 115, 20 pounds. Look at me now. Like, it's just, and there's nothing, it's not your fault. That's the whole point. It's like, patients have to understand it's not you, it's your body, it's the disease. Why we have it, I don't know. Like, I mean, it was from the 18th century, then it went dormant. What made it come back?
I think less people were looking, right? I mean, we were going
And
through the Industrial Revolution. We were working on working our workers to death and then maybe making a 5-day work week. I don't think anybody was looking at the health of what happened to these people.
exactly. And in Ireland, who only knows what you had? I mean, back then nobody knew. Like, oh, you just got a lump, you know?
Right. Or,
It's
that's my cousin. She's racked with hideous pain all the time. We think it might be witchcraft. Like that's,
right. You're cursed.
you must have done something to the Fae people because they don't like you.
Exactly, right? I'm like going, oh yeah, this is not good. But
So that's all of my list of official questions. And then let's get into how you started the first charitable organization for Derkums and all the colors and everything, because everybody should know.
oh right. So when I was diagnosed, my brother Pete and a few of his friends decided we're gonna have a golf tournament for me or to raise money for research. And by this time Dr. Herbst was in the picture and stuff. And we had the first one we had was a Gaelic garlic night. My parents owned a restaurant, the Harp and Shamrock in Warwick, and it started at 1 in the afternoon to 1 in the morning, and there was all different bands that donated and came in, and we did good. And Dr. Herbs and Sarah came out, and that was the first
Oh,
time. Yeah, They came out, and Sarah was 2. She was so cute. And so we had that. Then we started the golf. My brother started the golf tournaments, and my other brother, my oldest brother John, started a polka run on the motorcycle runs. So we've had just multiple. We've had the guest bartending events at the Shanaview. Um, we've had comedy nights. We've had the 0K run. That was a great one.
that's my favorite kind of run.
It was mine too. And we're all standing in the parking lot. You're not running anywhere. And like the guest bartenders and then the golf tournaments, we'd have meatball dinners. I mean, my family and friends did everything. Like you know, and my brother's friends, they always ran golf tournaments every year for it and stuff. So it was great. I mean, but it came to an end because, some of our committee, they all broke up, they got married, had kids, had families of their own. It's tough to keep them going.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then my cousin Chris, I don't know, we had a Yahoo site for years, and that's when I met a lot of people from Dercum's. And my cousin Chris and Dr. Herbs and a lot of the people from the Yahoo site, um, we Chris did a design for the Dercum's design, which is what he had, was there. And then they had a vote on the colors, orange and Chris picked the colors. I forget why the colors was picked. It was a vibrant color. Orange is vibrant. A lot of people would be attracted to the orange and the stuff. And the logo. So we sent message to Dr. Herbs about the logo and the ribbon, and everybody loved it. And we had the vote years ago. It was a long time ago. I'm just trying to find I sent you the meaning for the Dercums. And so the Dercum ribbon and means, all right, so the logo, the D is from the word Dercums, obviously. It is enveloped with the eternal flames of hope. The eternal flames also reaches inside the D, which is why the heart is there. And outline, he said it consumes hope, courage, healing, and research. And he said it's used just to, help get Dercums out there. He didn't want to use the word disease because people are afraid of that word, obviously, And then Dercum's Day was a big vote on through our site, a lot of the sites. There's a few of them, and Dr. Herbs. And we were talking about April 4th because it's easy for Dercum patients to remember because D is the fourth letter in the alphabet and the fourth is the second D. So DD is the fourth month and fourth day of. So that's how we came up with Dercum's Day, and that's what we've been, celebrating, getting awareness out there and stuff. So usually that and Rare Disease Day, which is February 28th, we all put on our Dercums, get Dercums out there and put it up on our webpage, and Chris used to do the T-shirts, but we don't have the T-shirts anymore. And that's how we came up with that. And so it's been going for a while, And the orange and white, it stands out. It makes people look and say, what is that,
Well, and
So,
also for the green that you guys do for the St. Patty's Day, I think that would actually look really good because it's the
yeah,
traditional,
yeah, the committee decided they were going to do a 5K 1 years ago, which was for the St. Patrick's. We do it every year in Providence, the 5K run. So we had my friend Jim, God rest him, he passed away. He was a president for Dercum's for a long, long time, Jimmy Green. And he came up with this bright green shirt and the orange Dercum logo on it. It looked really nice. But like I said, it's hard to get T-shirts sold for Dercums because like a lot of people don't know about it. But also just to get the right material and the sizes. And Chris did it for a long time, but I must look into it again and see if he is interested in, because I have it also. When we had the golf tournament, Brothers made the golf jacket that has Barbara Lyons. It was called Barbara Lyons Croker Dercum Disease Golf Tournament for the on it with the golf thing, heart in a golf thing. It was nice. So, but I don't know. I don't know if there's any T-shirts out there anymore because, like, it's been a long time.
Well, I thank you for doing it not only, so that we had a day to celebrate and like somebody actually doing anything for Dercum's disease, but also we've seen that if we don't do these things, that other people will come in and fill that space with not always the best of intentions.
Right.
So I would like everyone to know these are the only Dercum's colors.
Yes,
This
and
is
the
the
Dercum
only
logo.
Dercum's logo. This is the only official Dercum's Day. Anyone who puts up anything else is actually promoting what was originally a scam.
Yes, exactly.
And if Barbara
blue and
Lyons,
yellow ribbon.
right, and if you didn't exist, we wouldn't have anything to fill that space to keep out the scammers and those scams, and that would be really unfortunate.
And like I said, that's why I get like I'm very tough on people. Like if they come in and they start like, we try to not, it's, we're just very cautious on the sites because, I have seen so many scammers coming in and trying to, that's why you have to answer the 3 questions that's on there to get into
Right.
our site. And a lot of people just like try to come on and be like, they won't answer anything. So I'm not jeopardizing all the patients on the site.
Right.
Do you know what I'm
Or their
saying?
ability to feel free to share. Like, are you going to feel free to
Exactly.
share in a space that's filled with scammers? Like, I
Right.
wouldn't.
Right. Or people who are just, that don't have it. Why do you want to say selling stuff? Trying to tell these people that, okay, this works for me. I have Dercum's disease. I am thin. I lost, I'm cured. No.
Have you gotten the magical witch doctor ones?
Oh yeah, we've
Yeah.
gotten, so I'll go through them. So there's 5 moderators on there right now. Oh, 4 or 5, I think. I'm on there. Me, I'm on there. Emily and Shirley. There's a few of them, and like they moderate it when I can't. Like they'll watch over and make sure there's
It
no.
has to be that way because, it can't just
I,
be one person.
no, because it's impossible to do it. Be on there all the time. But yeah. So yeah,
And that's the Derkim's disease research Facebook page.
yeah. It has the orange and
Okay.
white bracelet.
Yeah,
You,
because there are
you're on,
several pages.
you're on there, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm on there. I joined all of them that were
Right.
worth joining.
Yeah. Exactly. And like a lot of like we'll put a lot of information on. Like share they can share their pictures. Like they're on mine. I have the white paper from Dr. Herb's. I
Mhm.
have what they can do with the MRIs, how to try to pick up the Dercums, which I brought mine up to Mass General the other day. I printed it out and brought it up. First time I had to do that. So it was just like, because I was going to a different facility and I want to make sure they knew, okay, this is what Dercums is. And I will show them, like, they'll walk in, I'll be like, oh, they did rounds on me and everything, like in dermatology, the chief called me, will you come in and sit and let the residents try to figure out what you have or whatever. And I didn't know. You're not supposed to say anything. I'm like, I have Dercum's disease. And they're like, shh, you're not supposed to tell us. We're supposed to guess your diagnosis. And they're like,
Uh,
oh, yeah.
I I bring my little card from the FDRS, the printout. I bring that. It's in my wallet. I bring it everywhere just in
Good.
case, so that I can pull it out and it's all folded and old, but I'll still
Right.
be like,
Yeah. But that's the main thing. Bring the papers that's there. It's if you go at the top of the page and hit files, there's tons of different stuff in that, that you can find out information. Dr. Herb's papers are there and just all different stuff from other patients. So, yeah,
she really, Dr. Herbst has gotten us leaps and bounds ahead of where we would be without her. I can't imagine.
absolutely. Absolutely.
We, I personally wait for each of her research papers to come out. Like some new album is dropping. I'm so excited. Like the last one that she did was so good.
Oh, absolutely. And like I call her my angel because only for her, when like years ago when we were diagnosed, there was nobody researching it. And
No.
she's been through a lot, like fair play to her for all, and still puts up with all of us, no matter, what we do. But she's wonderful. They only for her, I don't know what I would have done.
Well, no, in my hour of desperation, I thought that I was going crazy when I started feeling these things. And I'm like, because you know that you can have the psychological effect of. So
Absolutely.
I thought that I was going crazy. So I actually emailed her when she was at the University of Arizona and she actually wrote me back like out of
Oh,
nowhere. I mean, she didn't
ah,
have to, she didn't
right.
know me, but she actually took the time to answer my email and talk to me a little bit about it, which helped me on my journey going forward anyway. And she didn't have to do that. She's a busy lady.
She is very busy. That woman works so hard. And not only for her, she has her family and stuff, but she tries so hard with the lymphedema, Dercum's disease, Madeline's disease,
Connective tissue disorders, like all of it.
everything, and she doesn't have to do it. Like, I
No.
mean, and so people need to be respectful to her, and be nice and appreciative of everything she has done for us.
Right.
Otherwise, we'd be still back at square one, like, because nobody was, like I said, I reached out for the rare disease order, And because there was only a few, when I was diagnosed, there was less than 100 of us that they knew of. And
Yeah.
that's crazy, in the world. It's so, yeah, only for her, and she used to come out for a few of the golf tournaments and stuff and speak at the, and so yeah, but she's definitely a wonderful doctor, and she knows what she's talking about,
She certainly does. Yeah.
absolutely. We'd be lost without her. And now all the other doctors that she has involved in trying to help Dercum patients and lymphedema patients,
Right.
so yeah, but I don't know.
Well, I thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I appreciate everything that you have done for us
Thank
and
you.
all of the things that you've put in. And I'm really glad that we met.
I'm very happy with it. Stay in touch. Like I said, it's, pleasure meeting you, and I appreciate everything you're doing. That's wonderful. You're doing a great job. But yeah. So
All right. Well, I'm going to let you get back about your day. And thanks for all of your time.
you're welcome, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.